all cats old enough to catch their own prey gather here beneath the podcast for a clan meeting. Welcome to Paws Clause, a podcast where we read the Warrior Cats books in chronological order. I'm Scout, joined by my co-host and certified Baldur's Gate 3 Master Jill, and today we will be discussing The Prophecies Begin, Book 2, Fire and Ice. Hello, Jill. When I was reading my own copy that I wrote, I for a second read it as Baldur's Gate Ill Master.
Well, you know,
I think you're pretty ill in, like, the cool way. You know, the way when you're like, yeah, I was so ill, dude.
I'm also chronically ill, so, you know.
Aside from being ill in the cool way and ill in the chronic way, how have you been?
Right. I've been doing pretty good. Very kind and bold of you to call me a master when I have not even finished the second act of the game in any playthrough that I've done, as I just keep restarting with new little guys.
You know, sometimes you just gotta restart the game with new little guys.
And I'm enjoying playing every single one of my little guys. It's a blast.
I love that. That's great.
Do we want to talk about how the prey is running?
I feel like we should talk about how the prey is running. The thing is that I don't have anything in the doc for how's the prey running this week, and so I was like, how do I even transition into how's the prey running? But, you know, this is the transition. Sometimes the transition is just to say, let's do it.
Sometimes the transition is the friends you make along the way.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
Absolutely.
what I call being on the internet and finding out you are trans. Thank you. I'll be here all week. So yeah, Scout, how's the prey running? What's cooking over there tonight?
Oh gosh, I don't even know what's cooking for dinner yet. We record the podcast we're recording the podcast at our normal time, and that is before I eat my dinner. Shockingly.
We've been all over the place with recording lately.
We have.
Through no fault of our own. It's literally like the world has just gone against us.
Sometimes the vibes, they're just wrong, you know?
Yeah. And it's not even vibes sometimes. It's just busy.
I've had some good food since the last time we recorded. Had some pot roast over like a nice rustic noodle last night.
God, I love a pot roast.
And then had my dear father made some homemade bread this morning. And so for lunch, I had some leftover pulled pork barbecue over a nice piece of homemade bread, which was very tasty.
That sounds like it fucking rules.
It was so good. And I ate some like fresh, warm out of the oven rolls for breakfast this morning with some nice salty butter. Good stuff. Dude,
that sounds so good.
It was so tasty.
Oh my God. My husband and I were so lazy this weekend.
Oh, I know that feeling. Ordered
hibachi takeout last night.
Ooh, that sounds fun.
Oh my God, it was so good. I always get from this place, they have like a really good tempura sweet potato roll. So it's like fried sweet potato strips in a sushi roll. It's so good.
Hell yeah. I love a nice like fried or roasted sweet potato.
Oh, that's the peak. So good.
That's the pinnacle of sweet potato to me.
I agree. And so I got that and then a steak hibachi meal, and it was delicious, and I very much enjoyed it. And then tonight I made one of our super easy meals that I really enjoy, which is one pot red beans and rice.
Nice.
And
do you have any sides with it? With bread or anything?
Nah, we were lazy.
Straight. You were in Baldur's Gate mode.
That, and we were in end of the week. There's no stuff left in the fridge mode.
Well, it still sounds extremely tasty.
Yeah, no, it was very good. And I made up some pink lemonade for the week. So it was delicious.
Ooh, I love a pink lemonade.
But yeah, so I guess the only other thing I really have here is just like actual genuine news. This will be old news by the time this podcast episode is released.
That's just the way we roll.
Yeah, we're ahead of the times.
We're ahead of the game.
So just recently, they announced that The Prophecies Begin is getting a genuine graphic novel adaptation.
Hell yeah. That's right. I saw the cover art.
The cover art looks very cute. We got a little snaggletooth Fireheart. It's adorable.
Yeah. That's my little guy.
I am curious if it is going to be I'm curious if it's going to be multiple books covering each Prophecies Begin book, or if it's going to be one graphic novel for each Prophecies Begin book, or if they're just going to mush them all together and just go like Prophecies Begin 1, 2, 3, 4, however many.
Right.
Because the cover reveal doesn't say anything about Into the Wild. It just says the Prophecies Begin.
It just says the Prophecies Begin. Interesting.
Uh-huh.
Curious to see.
Yeah,
it's
I'm
coming
very
out
interested. Next July. July 2024.
July 2024. Excited to see what that's about. It's very
excited to pick it up.
Hell yeah. Nice colors on the cover, which is great. We haven't had a lot of like covers to talk about the last couple of episodes.
Yeah, probably just because we're so endeared to the old covers.
It's true. Like you can't beat them.
They're really good.
But also there haven't been any really like, the Polish covers have not been popping off for the Prophecies Begin in the same way that they've popped off for all the other stuff, which is interesting.
Yeah. Oh, this is a cute one though.
Oh, you got a cute one?
Yeah, let me find out which the Polish one is very cute for this one though. I did just find it and I'm going to post it in our chat. Oh, it's
because
so
when
precious.
I looked on the fandom wiki, I did not see the
it's so precious.
Oh, look at them.
Yeah,
with the cattails in the front.
I know, it's so cute.
This is great. I didn't even see that when I was on the page for it on the wiki.
This is on the Warriors official art Tumblr.
I love that Tumblr.
Yeah,
that's a good Tumblr.
They're great. You can search by book title. So I'm gonna real quick search Fire and Ice.
Go for it.
All right. We got some cool art of that kind of woodcut sort of looking thing. Got one of Fireheart walking away from Princess with a bunch of catnip in his mouth.
Oh.
We got another Polish illustration? Okay, wow.
Ooh.
There's just like...
Okay.
There's quite a bit of... some of these are just like illustrations.
Right. Interesting.
Yeah, wow. There is a lot. Oh my gosh. If you look, this art has a little Fireheart in the background.
Oh, is he lurking?
He's not lurking, but like you can see if you like on the right hand side, if you like zoom in,
there's on the other side of the river.
There's a tiny little Fireheart
spotted.
Yeah, that's
computer
very cool.
enhance. I love that. These are always so good.
Yeah, so definitely hit up warriors-official-art tumblr.com. They have just like all of the official art, and it's also fun. And
yeah, this piece of Blue Star and Fireheart, like kind of hanging out in a yin yang pose.
Yeah, that's fucking me up, actually.
It's so good. But yeah, let's get into it. What do you say?
I say absolutely.
Though Broken Star and his rogues have been banished, and Shadow Clan is in recovery, the absence of Wind Clan still hangs heavy over the forest. The clan leaders are divided on the issue, but eventually concede to Blue Star's conviction that Wind Clan must be brought back to their territory. The Thunder Clan leader chooses newly named warriors Fireheart and Graystripe to carry out the mission. Together, the two friends journey beyond High Stones, tracking down the missing clan, who are starving and barely sheltered under an overpass far from their home. They convince Tallstar and his cats that it is safe to return to the moors and guide them home, aided briefly by Barley and Ravenpaw, who, after successfully having escaped Tiger Claw's ire, is thriving in his new life as a barn cat. The mission is a success, but a risky shortcut beside the gorge on their way home finds the ThunderClan cats and their WindClan escort in a border skirmish with RiverClan. Graystripe is blamed for the death of a RiverClan warrior who accidentally fell into the rapids below, and hostilities between the groups increase. In recognition of their hand in WindClan's return, Blue Star appoints Fireheart and Graystripe as mentors, but as winter sets in, they both find themselves struggling with the new responsibility. Graystripe begins sneaking out of camp to meet with Silverstream, a River Clan warrior who saved him from drowning during a hunting patrol. Fireheart, meanwhile, reconnects with his kitty pet Roots via his pregnant sister, Princess, whom he has been visiting regularly, seeking a familial connection that he can't seem to find in his clan. On top of these personal struggles, the clans face off against a mysterious enemy force. Some report Shadow Clan scents where they do not belong, while others report rogues stealing prey. It is during this investigation that Fireheart's apprentice, Cinderpaw, is hit by a car, suffering a serious leg injury that leaves her unable to continue her warrior training. Fireheart confides his distress to Princess, who entrusts him with her firstborn Kit, hoping he can share his warrior's life with the little white Tom. The clan is unsure about taking in another kitty pet, but Blue Star begrudgingly supports the decision, naming the child Cloud Kit. Not long after, the mysterious intruders launch an attack on a nearly empty ThunderClan camp, revealing themselves to be the exiled ShadowClan cats led by Broken Star himself. The fight is vicious, but ThunderClan emerges victorious, with Yellow Fang taking one of Broken Star's remaining lives and blinding him beyond recovery. When Fireheart asks why she does not finish off the tyrant, she confides in him that Broken Star is, in fact, her son. In lieu of executing him or leaving him in the forest to starve, Yellowfang convinces Blue Star to keep Broken Tail, stripped now of his leader's suffix, even if StarClan will not rescind his lives, as ThunderClan's prisoner. The rogues aren't the only trouble in the forest, however. One Whisker, a Wind Clan warrior who befriended Fireheart during their return journey, arrives with news that Shadow Clan and River Clan have united to try and drive Wind Clan out yet again. ThunderClan joins with Wind Clan to fend them off, and though the battle is difficult, they emerge victorious once again. Graystripe confides in Fireheart that despite the pain he felt in facing Silverstream and her comrades in battle, he will not stop his relationship with her. Fireheart finally accepts his friend's feelings, and the two take a moment to rest, united in their bond once more.
Oh, man.
There's so much that happens in this one.
Right? I feel like everything happens.
Trying to write the summaries for everything basically post Mothflight's vision
has just been hell.
And has put into perspective just how little fucking happened in Dawn of the Clans.
Yeah, it's very true. Like, I really did enjoy Dawn of the Clans overall.
Oh, me
I thought
too.
it was very fun.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, I think I said this before when we were reading Dawn of the Clans. Like, a couple of those could have been smushed into one book.
Oh, absolutely.
And,
yeah,
like,
there was so much stuff that really... Yeah, there was so much stuff that was just not important in a lot of the Dawn of the Clans stuff. Meanwhile, and I truly don't think this is just because I've read these before, and so I know what things might come back to like strike us again. But there's a lot of groundwork that ends up being laid in like any one of these given books that you're like, okay, well, I can't leave that out of the summary because it's important by the end of the book.
Right. There's just so much. There was so much that happened in this book, and I had only remembered one of the things that happened in this book. Like everything, I mean, I remembered the stuff, but I thought that it all happened in different books. In my head, this is like the Graystripe and Silverstream book. No, false. I misremembered. I was going to say, for me, Forest of Secrets is definitely the Graystripe Silverstream book to me.
Yeah, I mean, now I remember, but there are events that happen in Forest of Secrets that I had falsely recalled as happening in this book.
Yeah. God damn this book, though. I did it again, and I feel so bad for Scout, because I messaged Scout last night at like, I don't know, it was like 8:30, and I was like, oh yeah, I started the book an hour ago, and I'm almost done. I'm writing my notes here, because I don't have my paper with me. And I was like, I'm sorry I haven't written anything, because I just can't stop fucking reading this book.
Sometimes, the power of the cats compel you.
Yeah. Oh, man. Can we talk about the feeling in my chest when we got Cinderpaw? I was like, oh, Cinderpaw!
I know.
Sweet,
it made me...
Sweet baby! And then I was like, oh, God, I forgot she got hit by the car so soon.
I was so excited to see Cinderpaw and Brackenpaw. Cinderpaw and Brackenpaw, for listeners who might not be reading along, are brother and sister, and they are the young cats who are made Fireheart and Graystripe's apprentices. And Cinderpaw is just like full of energy and enthusiasm and like won't stop talking, asks so many questions, but then doesn't wait for the questions to be answered, runs off, headstrong, all this stuff. And then her brother Brackenpaw is like very serious and takes everything with this like grave sort of air about him. And I just love them both so much. The joke before we started this this podcast was that I was only ever going to talk about Brackenpaw once he was introduced, because he is my
Scout's
secret
favorite.
He's my not so secret fave. One of my faves. I love them both so much.
And it's so like I feel really bad for Brackenpaw because, Graystripe is off Romeo and Julieting with
he really
wife.
gets the short end of the stick a little bit.
But like he's so like, oh yeah, he said he would go take me hunting tomorrow, but whatever, I guess. And I'm just like, you sweet, sweet boy.
He is so serious, and so I can't bring it up again, but I'm going to bring it up again. Mm-hmm. I'm a sucker for a child burdened with responsibility. Okay, so sue me.
Yeah. Oh, I really enjoyed the Fireheart and Graystripe Wind Clan rescue mission. I'd completely forgotten all the details of that. It was so fun. And now knowing, I don't know if they had this planned out beforehand. I can't imagine they did. But there is a moment where Tallstar looks at Fireheart in the breaking sunlight coming in through the grate of the sewers that they're sleeping in. And he looks at him and he's got this unreadable expression on his face, and he's like, huh, what an appropriate name. Your fur really is glowing in this sun like fire. And I'm like, it's because he's your boyfriend's son. And you're not sure how to feel about that, but you know that that's your boyfriend's son, and you have to watch over him. And I'm like, they couldn't have had that plan from the very beginning. But the fact that it still works, so good.
I mean, some of the best storytelling, in my opinion, is when you this happens so much in D&D games as well, or TTRPGs in general, but those moments when something you didn't plan on making important suddenly has the chance to become very important later and add a whole extra layer to whatever happened forever ago.
That's the shit I love.
That gets me so hyped.
I love that shit.
That's fire.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, that is the shit I love. I go absolutely wild for it.
Yeah, I go bananas for that stuff. So I think that definitely this moment here felt like that, and I feel like we'll probably get a lot of those moments considering the reading order that we're doing, which again I feel like is the method paying off. I'm having a great time reading through The Prophecies Begin immediately after having all of this other content from the super editions and stuff that we read in The Road to Rusty.
I agree 100%. I loved it.
I want to touch briefly on the Ravenpaw glow up. I love that scene so much where they come into contact with Ravenpaw again and they're like, where did that skinny little Tom go? He's like he's nice and shiny and glossy and he's nice and plump off of all the mice that he'd been catching, and he's best friends with Barley and he's just living his absolute best life.
He's so happy. And Barley even is like, Barley is so appreciative of his new little guy. Yeah. He's just like, oh yeah, I'm so glad you guys sent him to me. Like, he's a really great cat. And I'm like, oh, they are in love. So I see here you have Blue Star's favoritism. She's already kind of starting to show her signs of what is to come with her, I will say.
I mean, like, I know that they are the protagonists, but it is so funny to me that it's just boom, boom, bam. Like, the end of the last book, they're already young to be full-blown warriors. Like, they're already sort of graduating
Sandpaw
early.
And Dustpaw are like...
Sandpaw and Dustpaw are still... Those poor cats are apprentices.
What cracks me up?
Long.
Blue Star specifically appoints Brackenpaw and Cinderpaw because ThunderClan needs more warriors. And yet, Sandpaw and Dustpaw
have two perfectly good warriors at home. Yeah, so they do. It's like there's that. They were already made warriors early, and then immediately she's like, I'm going to send you on a special mission. And then immediately after that, she's like,
You guys did so good on your special mission.
You guys did so good on your special mission, even though it made hostilities worse between us and RiverClan. Even though a cat died, you did so good on your special mission that I am going to give you apprentices. And also, these apprentices are too young. It's explicitly stated in the text that they're not 6 moons yet, which is fucked up after what happened in the last one. And now they're not like 3 moons old, which is the stuff that Broken Star was doing.
They're just a little younger than 6.
Yeah, but they are like 5 to 5.5. You know, they've got a couple more weeks at least. Yeah, you should put them back in the oven. They still got to cook.
Yeah,
But yeah, Blue Star privileges with Fireheart, and then I feel like Graystripe just is sort of accidental.
So much.
He's failing upwards.
He is,
because just out of association with Fireheart, Graystripe gets to do all this stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not failing upwards, but he is
not doing the work that he should be, but he is receiving the benefits of the work he is not doing.
Yes, exactly. He's got sidekick privileges.
Yes, he does. I love him, though. He's my boy.
I love him so much. I mean, he does a lot of growing. In these first couple of books, he doesn't, he definitely is not living up to sort of the heroic lineage that he is being sort of portrayed as. I love him. Yeah, he grows up. You know, they're young right now.
They're just little guys.
He sure was. I love him so much, but he sure was annoying in some points.
Oh my God. Yeah. You know, I kind of got what Fireheart was saying when he was like running in to get Graystripe because some shit was going down, and he's like, and then I felt, and he says this like exact same thing more than once. He's like, and then I felt rage because Graystripe wasn't around when I needed him, and I'm like, you know what? Yeah.
Graystripe he's always going off. Stop, just go. You can't listen.
Like, Fireheart makes some good points. He's like, look, you guys can meet, but like, people are gonna think you're a spy. Like, you need to fucking chill. And
I know she's letting you hit it because you goofy.
She is letting him hit it because he goofy. Because can we talk about when they meet? Because that's my favorite scene in the whole book.
When they meet and she's like, what are you doing on my territory? He's like, drowning?
And then he's like,
can you stop drowning here?
She's like, why don't you drown in your own territory? He's like, oh, who would rescue me then? And I'm like, you fucking idiot. I love you so much. But oh my God. Even Cinderpaw is like, that was a really pretty girl.
It's so funny.
Fireheart are like, Cinderpaw, shut up.
Cinderpaw.
Oh my God. Yeah, no, best intro. I loved that scene. I've always loved that scene. I just think it is so funny.
It's such a good scene.
But, like, oh my god, Graystripe, like, for real, he is such a simp in this book because he is not thinking clearly at all. Fireheart is making excellent points, and he's not listening to them. And he keeps
acting like Fireheart is being completely unreasonable. And it's like, no, he's really not. He's being extremely reasonable is the thing.
Yeah, in no way. Like, at first, yes, he is, but eventually Fireheart's like, look, I know I'm not going to be able to stop you from seeing her, but you gotta be smarter about this.
Yeah, you gotta stop being stupid.
How dare you stand in the way of true love? How dare you say this?
I do want to point out it's at least the beginning of the Fireheart himbo era. There's just some moments in the beginning of the book where he's like,
oh, he's so stupid.
Should I believe Ravenpaw? I mean, there was that time when he didn't finish telling a story because Tiger Claw looked at him menacingly, and if he was telling the truth, why would he stop telling the story when his mentor looked at him with murder in his eyes?
He really like has the orange cat vibe in this book sometimes.
Yeah,
you can tell he's orange.
He's so orange. I love him though. The truth come out.
Does Firestar is gay?
Does Firestar is gay?
Does Fireheart is gay? Spoilers, sorry.
I mean, yes, probably. I think he and Graystripe are both bi disasters.
I agree.
I said that last night in the chat, and I stand by it.
No, I 100% agree. Graystripe just gives bisexual. Like, now, and this this may be me projecting, but nobody's allowed to come for me for this because he is my favorite character. No, you're not allowed to come for me for this. Just because he's my favorite character, I can make him bi if I want. But he like says some things to Fireheart that are just, it's like the kind of things that make people ship Naruto and Sasuke sometimes. Like, that's the kind of relationship sometimes that they have, is like, you would not say this to a normal person. Like, that is the kind of shit you say to your lover.
You can't just walk up to your bro and say, I would give up my life for you, and then walk away.
Yeah.
Which is literally a scene that happens in this book.
Unhinged behavior.
You cannot just do that and not be a bisexual disaster.
Fireheart being like, I'll always be your friend. Like, come on, friend. And the fact that, like, they always talk about the two of them, like after they're
giving each other baths.
Yeah, they're always hanging out together. They're always cleaning each other. The first time they like have their warrior, like they sleep in the warrior's den, they basically share a bed.
Yeah.
They're so cute.
I love them.
I never, because when I first read these, I was very much growing up in a very Catholic household, and I had no idea of anything gay at all. It was not talked about. So I was never like a Grayfire shipper when I was a kid. Mm-hmm. I'm fully in. I'm fully in for it now. I'm down, baby.
I don't know if it's weird. I'm like, I think I'm in the mode where it's like, I don't know that I directly ship it. Like I don't know that I have the feeling of like, ugh, when I think about them together, but I completely also see it and understand it. Kind of the same way that it's the same feeling that I have when people talk about Miles Edgeworth and Phoenix Wright, where I'm like, it doesn't incite the feral instincts within me of the shipper, but I also completely understand it and am completely in support of it.
Yes, that is basically how I'm feeling. Like, it's not like, and I think this is something that I could go on for hours about how, like, I feel like Tumblr ruined what shipping means, because it's very much like, you ship them, that means you can't ship any other characters with them. Like, it's like one and only, that's it. And I'm like, but
right, people heard OTP and said,
that is law.
I'm taking that literally.
Yeah, and like, that's fine. You can do that. But like, I'm the kind of person who enjoys like exploring different character dynamics. And I can find like, I can be like, okay, yeah, I can see how you would ship these two characters together because there is definitely evidence for that. And that's very much how I feel about Grayfire, is I'm like, I really like Graystripe and Silverstream's relationship. I love the eventual relationship between Fireheart and Sandstorm.
It's so good.
And so I'm not like, oh, I want them to leave their girlfriends for each other. It's very much like, I could see in like a different world. Like, yeah, those two bros, they are definitely like really, really close. And I can 100% see it. Ugh.
Sean and Gus vibes.
Oh my God, so real. No, you're so right. That is it. That is it.
Every time I think about bros that are like the most bro-y bros, I think about that one episode of Psych where Sean tells the story about how he and Gus are going to get houses next door to each other with a pool that goes over both of their backyards. That is like the platonic ideal of like the
best friends,
the queer platonic bro identity.
Yeah,
I love it so much.
It's great. And as I mentioned in the chat last night, like you could convince me very easily that a little bit of Fireheart's like, ugh, why is Graystripe always spending time with Silverstream is a little bit of jealousy. Because
there could definitely be jealousy in there.
Because, listeners, Fireheart's over here spending like every other day with Princess, and he does not see an issue with that. And like, yes, that's his sister, not his girlfriend, but also he's like, he's not, I mean, Graystripe never calls him out on it because he doesn't even fucking notice. But like, it is very much a little bit of a hypocritical thing for Fireheart to be like, yeah, I'm going to see my sister every day, but that's fine. What Graystripe's doing is not fine. Yeah, and you could very easily convince me there's a little bit of hypocritical jealousy there of being like, well, why is she getting to spend all this time with him?
That's my friend. That's my best friend.
That's my best friend.
I do want to briefly touch on Princess. I like Princess a lot as a character. Also, she's the smartest motherfucker in this book.
God, right?
She clocks Tiger Claw immediately.
Instantly. She's like...
Instant, sniped.
Fireheart has his
Tiger
dumb
Claw
himbo
dead
moment.
To fucking rights.
He's got his orange cat moment where he's like, well, why would Tiger Claw want to kill my apprentice? And Princess is like, funny. You fucking idiot. He asked for Blue Star to come to the road.
we just went over this.
Fireheart's like, oh my God, do you really think he could be trying to kill Blue Star? I'm like, fucking duh.
Have you seen him?
Have you seen this man? He's ready to kill at a moment's notice.
He's ready to kill at any moment. The amount of times in this book, I mean, I guess maybe it was only 2, but that's like more than it should be, of moments when when Tiger Claw is actively trying to have like an unfortunate accident happen to Fireheart.
Oh my God, literally. So the note I wrote last night where I said Tiger Claw is a stank ass hoe, that's from the scene towards the end when they're fighting in WingClan's camp, and Fireheart's getting the shit kicked out of him, and he looks over by Leopard Fur, and he looks over, and Tiger Claw's just watching this go down,
literally just watching it go down. Like,
what the fuck, dude?
He literally calls out like, help me, Tiger Claw, and he just stands there.
Tiger Claw just like stares at him and is like, you stank ass bitch.
Blatant, unapologetic,
right?
Unbelievable.
Oh my God, it is so wild to me. What else do I have here? Oh, he also refers to Fireheart's loved ones as playthings. That's fucked.
It's so fucked. That scene is so fucked up when he like comes out of the fucking shadows and stares Fireheart dead in the eyes while Cloud Kit is trying to get the boss ball back and is like, you have to take care. You have to be careful with your playthings. Fucked up, dude.
Yeah.
I would love to take 1 minute here to talk a little bit about Cloud Kit and just generally sort of use that to pivot into, once again, we've got blood relations and the like importance of blood and family and being related to somebody, having kin versus like being part of a community. And I don't know that I have anything intelligent to say about it, but I just find that every time this pops up in the books, and it pops up a lot because this is clearly something that the Erins are committed to, it doesn't matter what the context is, but the conversations always fall so flat for me and always feel so hollow and kind of underbaked. And I don't know if that's just because I am such a found family person and such a like bond over blood kind of person that it just doesn't resonate with me at all. And so it just like bounces off of me like I'm a duck and it's raining. But I don't know. So I was wondering, I wanted to hear if you had any thoughts on that or if it doesn't really even register with you.
I mean, I feel like I talked about it a lot more in the Dawn of the Clans arc.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, it seems like they have a point that they want to make. I'm just not sure exactly what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Because it feels like they're trying to make a point about, like, your family is who you are. But we have our protagonist, Fireheart, who is so clearly, like, your family or your origin does not define you.
Exactly.
So it doesn't make sense to me. Maybe we'll come up with something easier to something more smart to say like later on. I don't fucking know. Like, I'll see how it continues. I'll keep it like in mind.
Yeah. That's kind of how I feel, because every time I just get this feeling in my gut every time it comes up that I'm like, not this fucking thing again.
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't really happen to me when like any other recurring theme pops up, and I don't know why this one specifically is the one that always sticks out to me as feeling so out of place and so like weird and shoehorned in. But I don't really know that I have the vocabulary or the words to like explain why that's happening to me, but something I wanted to bring up because I think about it every time.
Absolutely valid thing to bring up. I mean, speaking of family.
Yeah, I was gonna say, speaking of family and blood, you want to talk about that Yellowfang and Broken Star scene?
Fuck yeah, I do. It is so fucking raw, y'all. It's so good.
So it's fire. It's fire.
Basically, Yellowfang has, in protecting Cinderpaw and the rest of the clan, she has blinded her son Broken Star, and she takes one of his lives. And Fireheart is like, is this his last one? Can you finish him off? Like, he killed his dad, he banished you, he tried to kill you, he spread all these rumors about you, like, you have every right to kill this guy. And she's like, I can't do it. Like, so she tells him that he's her son. Fireheart has a himbo moment. He's like, well, medicine cats are forbidden from having kids. Yeah, Fireheart, people break rules. Shocking, I know.
You're literally breaking rules right now.
And she kind of talks, she's like, all choked up about it, and Fireheart is like slowly realizing why Yellowfang was the way she was, and she says, there were 3 kits in my litter, but only Broken Star survived. I gave him to a Shadow Clan queen to bring up as her own. I thought that losing 2 of my kits was punishment from Star Clan for breaking the warrior code, but I was wrong. My punishment wasn't that 2 of my kits died. It was that this one survived. Yellowfang looked in disgust at Broken Star's bleeding body. And now I cannot kill him. I must accept my fate as StarClan wishes it. Yeah, it's wild.
Raw as hell. So good. What my punishment wasn't that 2 of my children died. It was that this one didn't is
that's
so hard.
Fucking hard. I love Yellowfang. God damn. We're going to see some really good shit from her later.
I love her so much.
Yeah.
Great scene, great quote, great Yellowfang.
Delicious. We love Yellowfang.
Yellowfang's so good.
Queen.
Seeing all of this stuff from this perspective after having read Yellowfang's Secret, also really fun.
Yes.
Hearing her say that after thinking about like the scene of her giving birth out in the snow alone.
I know.
And staring at Broken Kit as she gives him up and thinking about how his name is about her broken heart, and then like getting to this point where we see her like my fucking fail son that I can't stand. It's good. It's good.
It's good shit. Like, her whole arc is so good. I love her. I don't really have much else to say about this book other than I fucking loved it.
It's a great time. I had a great time.
Love Graystripe and Silverstream. Cannot wait to talk about them more.
We're going to have a lot more to say about them next time.
I know we've hinted about it once or twice, but I think their interclan relationship is just, it's so good.
It's so good, and it's not sad at all. Don't worry.
Don't worry. It's totally happy. Everything works out.
Don't look it up.
Don't look it up. Don't. It's fine. Everything's happy and good. And
everything's fine. Not to be on my timeline shit one more time real quick before we go to the Erin Corner.
Oh, of course.
But I just have to point out that they do say that it's been 3 months since Broken Star was driven out, but 6 months since Spotted Leaf was killed, and those happened on the same day, and I had to say something.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's like not a big deal.
Did you know that Cloud Kid's siblings have names?
No, what are they?
So I don't know where these names. I guess they're on the official family tree is where they got their names.
Wow.
Their names are Nami, Livy, Zach, and Taylor.
Wow.
And they have a father named Oliver.
Oliver. That's a cute name.
It is a cute name. Where is Oliver shown to be the mate of Princess? I guess it's just the family tree. That's it. Interesting.
That's how we know.
Well, there you go. That's
there we go. I'm so excited to get more of Cloud Kit going forward.
Oh, he's
he is such a little shit, parentheses, affectionate.
Mm-hmm.
I'm good to go. I'm going to go to the Erin Corner, though, if you're ready to go to the Erin Corner.
Let's go.
All right. It'll be probably a short one this time. Once again, struggling to find any, pertinent information to this particular book. I did find a couple of funny things, such as, well, first of all, Kate Carey wrote this book. Kate has stated that Graystripe is her all-time favorite cat.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Good taste.
The other funny Graystripe fact that I found is that Kate has stated that if he had a human name, it would be Joel. I don't know why. There's no explanation. It's just Joel. He's Joel.
I love that.
I love it so much. It's so funny to me. The only other little piece of trivia that I wanted to bring up that I found is that it has been confirmed that Lionheart is Brackenpaw and Cinderpaw's dad. Shout out to Lionheart. I miss you every day. And I can see a lot of Lionheart in Brackenpaw. So I love that.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it. It's a very little Erin Corner. You got something?
I'm just looking at the fucking family tree. It gets, you know how I was talking so much about family trees earlier on in the previous seasons. At this point now, it's getting really, really convoluted and complicated.
Yeah, we're in the weeds a little bit.
We're in the weeds a little bit of figuring out who is related to who and who mentored who, and them all being a very tangled web. So that's just. I was just looking stuff up. Literally nothing. Oh, speaking of literally nothing, why don't we share tongues? Because, boy.
Let's share some tongues.
Tumblr was absolutely fucking impossible to find anything.
I can understand why, considering the name of this book.
Yes, the name of this book is Fire and Ice. Remarkably very difficult to find stuff for. Especially because even if you type in Fire and Ice Warriors, you're still getting Game of Thrones content and some 80s movie called Fire and Ice about, I guess, a wizard and a warrior and a woman in a bikini. I don't know. I feel like I've mentioned this to you before.
I feel like I know about it. Wow, the logo for Fire and Ice, the animated movie, is really a lot.
Yeah, it kind of looks really camp, and I do sort of kind of want to watch it.
Yeah, was this cover art done by what's his name? Frank Frazetta? This looks like Frank Frazetta art. I bet it is. This is a very specific thing that I know as an artist.
I was going to say, yeah, I wish I could tell you. There's some mobile game, Love Nikki or whatever. Virtually impossible to find anything on Tumblr. So I gave collaboration.
Sorry, it's a collaboration between Ralph Bakshi, who also did that weird Lord of the Rings from the 80s. So it's Ralph Bakshi and Frank Frazetta. I was right.
I'm glad that you got it correct.
Frank Frazetta's whole thing, lovely listeners, is to draw ladies in bikinis with lions and tigers.
Well, the name of this lady in a bikini is named Tigra.
You know, that what I say. I said what I said.
This actually looks like it kind of fucks.
It probably does.
There's a character called Dark Wolf.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Right?
That's a warrior cat name.
That is a warrior cat name. All right, maybe this is honorary warrior cat. Anyway, so, scrolling through Tumblr was less cats, more women in bikinis, which, like, fine, whatever. I'm okay with that. Just not when I'm trying to work on podcast stuff. So instead, I turned to our good old friend AO3. There are 18 works tagged for Fire and Ice. A couple of summaries of some of the things I saw there. We've got one AU where Sparrowheart gets hit by the car instead of Cinderpaw.
Oh.
I know. Somebody's out here putting their fucking reviews on AO3. That's not what this site is for. Guys, please stop.
That's not what AO3 is for, guys.
Get a WordPress. A couple of AUs with OCs inserted into the story as main characters instead of Fireheart. Warriors fandom, I love you. Keep on keeping on.
Yeah.
Have you heard that audio lately of an audio on TikTok lately? And it's like, what if in the Bermuda Triangle they were time traveling? And she's just like, what if? As in, like, that's so ridiculous. Why are we even positing this question? This one. What if a female Fireheart had saved White Claw? What if? What an interesting way for you to pose this. Oh wow, those are a lot of women in bikinis with lions and tigers.
I have just sent Jill several women in bikinis with big cats in
that
the
has
DMs.
Several pterodactyls in it too.
Yeah, one of them does.
That's dope. Romantic, like somebody taking like all the romantic potential of these Graystripe and Fireheart lines from this book and like making a little fic there. I did find this tag. Look, Graystripe is a dumb bisexual idiot throughout this entire book.
I'm always saying this.
We're always saying this. The But They're All Human series is still going strong.
Wow, a cameo. We haven't heard about them in a while.
I haven't been talking about them lately, but they're still doing their thing.
Again, just if somehow you're listening to this, just change the names and publish it as your own fiction. You can do it. I believe in you.
I believe in you. You've got the power.
You've got the power.
Blue Star and Yellowfang ship. Old Wormy Yuri lives. We love this.
Old Wormy Yuri lives.
I mean, I'm not wrong.
It's true. It's true.
So very happy
Does this say high school AU?
Yes, there was a high school AU in there as well. So there are 2 human AUs in there specifically tagged for this book. I kind of do feel like this would be a good high school AU, though. Like, this has a lot of the drama of it.
It's got high school energy. I can't lie.
Yeah. Interesting ship I came across. Fireheart and Longtail. Who is shipping this?
Enemies to lovers, Jill.
I guess. I just don't think that there's enough justifying it in this book yet. They have not made up at all yet. Only 96 platonic Firestar and Graystripe works. We are failing as a society, and only 92 for their ship. Come on, guys, get it together. I want to see in the hundreds. These are best friends. Come on,
Graystripe and Silverstream are beating them out, guys.
They are. We have 95 Graystripe Silverstream ship fics, which, you know what? Good for them. Love wins.
Good for them. Love wins. I see no difference. Love is love.
I see no difference. Love is love.
Gray fire, gray silver. I see no difference. Love is love.
That's what Ravenpaw says. So yeah, that's, some interesting things to see. Like, I really do. I'm gonna try and be, especially because it's gonna be so hard for these first couple of, for the books that don't have a cat's name in them, it is gonna be a little bit more difficult searching on Tumblr and stuff. So I do want to do a little bit more deep dive into the AO3 section and kind of see, like, what the general vibes are. Like, what are people doing with this book specifically? So I do think, like, it is interesting that they're doing a high school AU. I feel like with the forbidden romance and all of that stuff, like, that feels very high school.
They could be, like, doing a production of Romeo and Juliet.
Exactly.
And Graystripe
is a jock and Silverstream is a cheerleader or a beautiful
Wait, we've reinvented
girl.
High School Musical.
Shit.
As soon as you said Graystripe is a jock, I was like, oh no, we made High School Musical again.
I can't go deep into this because I will. See, but here's the thing is, like, I feel more like Graystripe gives Chad than
Graystripe does
Troy
give
Bolton.
more Chad than he does Troy Baker. You're right.
Bolton, not Troy Baker. Troy Baker is a renowned
Troy
voice
Baker
actor.
is a different guy.
Not a high school basketball star.
No, Troy Bolton.
Although I don't know, maybe Troy Baker did play basketball. Troy Baker, if you're listening, hit us up. Tell us about your basketball. We're starting to get into the punchy part of the night very clearly.
Yeah, we're making it into punch zone.
Oh man. But yeah, I do feel like Fireheart has more Troy Bolton vibes.
Mm-hmm. Okay, consider Sandstorm and Dustpelt as
Oh my
Sharpay.
god, I knew you were gonna say Sharpay.
Sharpay and her brother, whose name I've forgotten. Ryan, yes. There's some Freudian going on with those two in that movie, huh?
I mean, yeah, I don't know, because, like, the director has very clearly stated in interviews after that, like, Ryan was meant to be gay, but, like, you know, was the early 2000s on Disney Channel.
Mm-hmm.
They could not do that.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like they overcompensated with the sibling relationship to, like, hide the gayness.
Right. But then it just got even weirder.
Yeah.
Which isn't necessarily, I love how weird it is.
I do too.
But the fact that they are always trying out for and playing the two leads in the romantic leads in the musical is undeniable that it happens, and it is so funny.
So funny to me. Like, it is such a choice. Anyway.
I'm going to tell one more little anecdote before we go to Warrior Cat of the Week, and that is that one time my mother decided she was going to watch High School Musical just by herself to sort of sort of like understand what High School Musical was about. And afterwards I asked her, Mom, what did you think? And she was like, that was the most painful experience of my life.
No, Scout's mom.
Not a big High School Musical fan. It's not made for her, and I think that that's fair.
Yeah, that's fine.
But it was just so funny the way that she came out of it. So, like, I did not get that.
I think the thing is, like, for me, there's definitely, like, a lot of nostalgia wrapped up in there.
Oh, totally. And I think I love, like, I'm a High School Musical fan. I love High School Musical.
I love it. Like, unironically, I love it. But I do think a lot of that love is sort of nostalgia based, in that I was the correct age for it when it came out, and therefore I get it.
Sometimes you just got to be the correct age, you know?
Yeah.
All right. I'm ready for Warrior Cat of the Week now.
I am too.
My Warrior Cat of the week this week is our girl Cinderpaw.
Oh my god, Scout.
Did we do it again?
We did.
We did it again. We did it again, gamers.
Somebody better start keeping track of these, because I'm starting to get worried with how many we have the same.
Listen,
oh man,
we're just on the same wavelength, you know. But Cinderpaw is so good in this book. There are so many wonderful moments where Fireheart is really like down, like having a really hard day, but talking to Cinderpaw, or just like looking over and seeing her give him like this shiny eyes kind of encouraging expression, giving him the power to continue forward, just makes me really happy. We're going to get a lot more of the relationship between Cinderpaw and Yellowfang as we go forward, but the budding kind of friendship and the back and forth rapport of, like, you know, this grumpy old lady and this young feisty cat makes me really happy.
It's so good. And it's so reminiscent of how Yellowfang and Fireheart were.
Yes.
That it's just
even to the point where there's that scene where Fireheart is like, Yellowfang doesn't have a better friend in the clan than me, and so seeing her have another friend makes me really happy.
Yeah.
Good shit.
Man, I love Cinderpaw and Yellowfang's relationship. They're so fun. And I just here's the thing. I adore Cinderpaw as a character.
She's so good. I love her so much.
And so I know her character has not gotten to all the things that I love about her quite yet, but the joy I felt seeing her name on the page was unmatched. I was so happy. I was like, oh, my girl is here.
Just pointing like, it's my girl. It's her.
And like, even as an apprentice, she's just so fun. She's such a fun character. She's like so loyal, and she's like totally willing to lie for her mentors so they don't get in trouble. She's like
to the point where Fireheart to the point where Fireheart is like, I'm a little concerned about how well you lied about that.
Yeah.
She is a little scamp. She comes onto the page, like immediately she comes onto the page. Her and her brother Brackenpaw both come onto the page, and you like immediately get them. It's another great little bit of characterization, like just the description of how she bounds forward and like her nose bumps into Fireheart's too hard, and they have to like shake it off and go in again for the mentor and apprentice nose touch. Meanwhile, Brackenpaw just has this very serious expression. I love it.
Oh, babies.
Babies. Excited to talk about them more and see them more moving forward.
100%. Oh, I'm so excited to read the next one.
It's going to go some places.
Oh, guys. It's going to go some places.
Do you like to go places, dear listener? Such as going to our email inbox. Dear listeners, write to us at pawsandclawspod@gmail.com. That's paws as in what a cat has, claws as in the part of speech, pod as in podcast. We are also on Twitter at pawsandclaws and on Tumblr at pawsclawspod. Listeners who are 18 years and older can come and join us on Discord, which will be linked in the show notes. And you can find me on Twitter or Tumblr or Blue Sky at HumbleGoat. And you can see the art that I do, including our podcast cover art, at scoutwilkinson.myportfolio.com. Links to my portfolio, as well as my Ko-fi page, are also in the show notes.
And you can also find me still kicking along on Twitter at plot_twists, now on Blue Sky at plot-twists, or on Tumblr at antique-romantic. Our next episode will be out in 2 weeks, where we will discuss The Prophecies Begin, Book 3, Forest of Secrets. Read along by buying the book from a local bookstore or checking out a copy from your local library. Until then, dear listeners, may StarClan guide your paws.